just let the teeth do the cutting.
Is that one done?
That one's done. How are you? That's it, good. Let the teeth do the cutting. It's very important. Let the saw do the work. You just apply a little pressure. Nice and low. If you can't get it any lower, what did I say you had to do? Just move it to the side. You really want to get that acrylic down nice and low. Bend the knees a little bit, young man. Bend the knees. Bend the knees so you're actually looking at your work. About 2 millimetres. So about there, yeah? Yeah, that's okay. Just work on this one, and this one. I'll glue that this week. We'll get that job done for you.
But I need to come out of it.
I'll do that for you on the machine. Okay? That's nice. Nice and slowly, Danielle, let the saw do the cutting, yeah? How you doing? Ooh. That's glue. Yeah? Is there not another saw up there that you can use? Okay, not a problem. Here we go. There's one just there you can use. Okay, if he's using that. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we might need to replace the blade in that one. Got a bit filled with glue. And there's also just one here that needs a sawing. Okay, two hands. And I would, can you hear it's going like that, yeah? Oh, might just have that up here a second. You want it nice and low. Nice and low. Okay. Guys, the secret to success with sawing is supporting the work, keeping it nice and low. That's good. So how do we get that nice and level now? Filing it, draw filing it. That's fine. If that doesn't mark it, I've got a fine liner that's out there that you can use. Just give me a second, young man. I'll be with you. Hold on one sec. Hold on. Can you see that's flexing? Yeah. Don't ever worry about getting it nice and low. The lower it is, the more support it's going to have. Bend the knees. Just thumb in there to get it started and let the saw do the cutting. I'm not pressing down. I'm letting the teeth do the cutting, yeah? Now 2 hands on, and look, I could almost, I'm really letting the saw do the cutting, yeah? Okay, and then that way it will never crack, okay? What, that vice? Yeah. Should be okay, well we've got the vices here that you can use. I'd prefer you use the woodwork vice, I'll show you why. If you come round, this is a metalwork vice, yeah? It's got teeth on it, yeah? You see inside there, so it'd mark your acrylic, okay? Ooh, hold on. Remember I said, I've seen people using it this way, I've seen people using it this way, I've seen people using it this way, yeah? Okay, and remember, look how that is, yeah? Open the vice up. That's where you want to start, yeah? And let the saw do the cutting. So I'm hardly holding that saw, yeah? Even if you have to keep stopping and moving it up, yeah? Let the saw do the cutting. Okay. What's the name of this area? Tri-square. Well done. Pat, what's the name of this? Tri-square. Good. What's the name of it? Tri-square. Good. Well done. Hi. Yes. 2 ways you can do it. As I said, you can do 2 mil and 2 mil. Just let me show you on the ruler though. 1, 2, there, or there. Or, alternatively, we can put our piece of acrylic on there. Not as accurate, I have to say. Mark it. And then we use tri-square, draw a line across. There's your pen. Yep, certainly can. Have you ever been shown how to do this? No? Holding that piece there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 1 more minute. 1 more minute working time. I've just undone that there like that, so that this piece has come out, yeah? As I was undoing that handle, it moves that bit forward. I'm going to come over the bench here in case any bits fall, yeah? Can you see that? That can move in and out now. I just undo the clips there, come around there to there, and then holding that again, I do that up. Do you want to just finish tightening that up? That's good, nice and tight. That's okay, you can file that down now, exactly like I showed you at the beginning of the lesson. Okay. Nice and low, Erin, stop there a second. Can you hear that? It's going, yeah? So that means it needs to go a bit lower. Or alternatively, do it over that side. That'd be a bit better, yeah? Oh, remember what we said? Don't try it yet, because it will... Okay, all right, okay. Okay then, ladies and gentlemen, if I could ask you to just pop your tools down and come around the front. Need to think about finishing off now. Okay, really, really well done on that. Lots of lessons learned, not just particularly about the tools, but more particularly about how we've got to treat materials when we're working with them. We can't just approach it like a bull in a china shop, yeah? We've really got to be quite sensitive and careful with them, otherwise they're going to crack, okay? Particularly with plastic and acrylic, okay? What I'd like you to do now then, please, if we can get our work together, so you take your two pieces of your design, take your base and your back piece, and what I'd like you to do is to bring them and put them in a nice neat pile here, please. What I'd then like you to do is to return your aprons back to the racks, please. If we can have the tools brought back to the tool shop at the front. And then if we can then sit down with our record books open, we can talk about this week's homework. Don't blow, just remember that creates dust, yeah? Okay. Okay, if there's any spare wet and dry, we can reuse that, bring that to the front. Pop that in a nice neat pile here. That's excellent, well done Pat. Squares goes here, rulers just go up on the rack on the side there by the tools shop there, yeah? Okay, if you could just leave that one there, I just want to check people's learning on that, yeah? Excellent. That one can go away, well done. Brilliant, thank you. Some sanding blocks. Sanding blocks need to go away yet if your area is tidy, yeah? Okay, who's working on this second bench then? Just some tools to come away there. Okay, well done. That's excellent. Just leave those there. That's good. Okay, a couple more squares, tri-squares to come back. Really well done. Excellent. Grab your stools from the side. Okay, planners then open please to this week. And the learning log that we had at the beginning. Oh, my pen. Thank you. Okay, well done, Pat. Well done. Excellent. Okay, have we all collected our blazers from the aprons area? Yeah, just one more there. Can you borrow mine? If I can have that back before we go. Okay. Okay, this week then. Obviously worked really, really well there, Year 8. Excellent work. Obviously, next lesson, what we're going to do is we're going to finish cutting those slots out, and we're then going to think about getting the slots actually on the CAD-CAM part that we did, the bit that was machined out. We've got to make those slots a little bit wider, so that's what we're going to be learning for next lesson. Okay, so what did I learn today? Well, hopefully we've learned how to use a file accurately. What was the name of the term that I used? Something filing? Begins with D.
Draw filing.
Draw filing. Excellent. Okay. We learned how to use a tri-square for drawing lines at 90 degrees, and you should now know how to use one of those. We learned how to mark out material accurately, and we obviously learned how to use one of these correctly and the correct way to hold it and the correct way for our posture to be. And then obviously all of you work safely today in the workshops as to be expected. So we achieved our learning objectives today. Homeworks then, please. If I could ask you to record then in DT section today, I'm going to actually test your knowledge to see how well you have learnt using the tools today. So if you could write down then, please, handout sheet to test knowledge. Yeah? So handout sheet to test knowledge. It's a very straightforward worksheet. What it's also going to ask you for, though, if you see at the top of the sheet, it's also asking you for your minimum target grade as well. Just to test that you actually know your minimum target grade now. I know we did a lot of work on this at the beginning of the year, okay, in the beginning of this module, just to actually see now whether you know your minimum target grade, because what I need to do now is an assessment of your work to actually see that you've achieved that minimum target grade or actually excelled it, gone beyond your minimum target grade, which many of you have. Okay, so just have a quick look at that sheet before we pack away today and go. You can see there you've got 4 diagrams on the left-hand side. Okay, has everyone got a sheet? 4 diagrams then, name at the top. Obviously the target for today's lesson was, what was today's target? Finish the CD rack, get those slots cut out. Okay, first one is the saw there. Okay, the second one is obviously a file. Third one, tri-square. Fourth one, a vise. Now what I've also asked you to do is put a description down, what you would use them for. Sometimes people are very good with the names, but they cannot actually describe what to do with that tool. Okay, and then lastly, how did you get on with the lesson today? What is going to be your target for the next lesson? Okay, all right. If we could then close our planners up, please. As I was coming round, I checked those. Thank you for that. Okay, if we can pop those away in our bags now then, please. Stand behind our chairs. That's good, I'll collect that in a moment. Okay. Okay, stand behind our chairs then, please. Shows me that you're ready. Ah, lovely, thank you. I was wondering why you were using that so quickly. Give it back to me. Okay, how are we doing? Oh, back row's ready. Excellent. Okay. How are we doing there, Pat? Good. Okay, really, really well done today. Right, excellent. As I say, next lesson then, we're going to be marking out, finishing off that marking out, getting those slots cut out, and then filing that slot so that it all goes together so that we can actually glue. Has anyone got any questions about their homework just before we finish today? No? Okay. Yes, question at the back there.
When is it due?
Due for next lesson. Okay, next week. Okay. Second row. Would you like to depart? Excellent. Have a good day. Okay, we've got your stuff together on the back row. Third row, off you go. Have an excellent day. Last but by no means least, the front row. Have an excellent day. See you later. Well done today. Okay, see you later. Bye-bye now. Today the students did very, very well actually with their objectives because they've had a little bit of a gap between their learning with our curriculum enrichment week last week. Came in today, did very, very well. I was really pleased. All worked superbly on the task. Have a little bit of work to do next lesson in terms of getting them to fit into the slots. My objectives was obviously to learn about a range of hand tools, the coping saw, the tri-square, which they did and was obviously tested at the end of the lesson. I was very pleased with that. Principally, I'd like to revisit using a coping saw because some students, as you saw in the lesson, the piece of acrylic was quite high in the vise and actually we had one that cracked. So we'd need to revisit that just to develop that skill a tiny bit. In general, I thought the lesson was excellent and achieved the objectives.